Good morning, Patreon. You guys are all the way over here. That's a little better. All right. Good morning, Patreon. Frank, our very own Frank, on the Give Me Your Questions post, said, here's a question for you, Bear. Why do people not know how to follow directions and how to do what you want them to do? I know, you might say I should have let them go a long time ago, but they have valuable knowledge and resources. What would be the options for someone to consider keeping them or having them move on? Inquiring minds want to know. All right, so you got people that know stuff, but they don't listen. This may be a very quick video. Shalom, Brother Frank. I hope all is well in your world. The people who cannot listen are not assets. If they can't listen now when it doesn't matter, you think they're going to listen when it does matter? That's the crux of the issue for me. Skill sets are definitely valuable, but they're not as valuable as heart set and mindset. We can train skill sets. And maybe we are nearing the end of our opportunity to train people up in the skill sets we would like them to have. This has to go up. How's that? That's a little better. There we go. The best production quality. Maybe we don't have as much time as we used to have to train people up in the way that they should go so they do not depart from it when they are older. Maybe things are tightening up and we just got to use everybody we've got. But see, the thing is, you don't really have them if they're not listening, if they're not paying attention, if they're not falling in line. So that's a red flag to me, because people who can't get with the program are a danger to us. We may need them to listen at a critical moment, and they don't. And if they don't, that could have catastrophic repercussions. And now it doesn't matter what kind of skills they have. This could also be a communications issue, a chain of command issue, a respect issue, an ego issue. If people aren't listening to you, there might be a reason for that. You might have to have a difficult conversation with them and say, listen, I'm trying to lead you in this, and you're not letting me. And so what I'd like to know is, are you willfully disobeying because you've got an issue with me? And if so, is that something that can be resolved? Or am I not communicating effectively? Do you not understand my commander's intent? Or are you just being pig-headed and stubborn? And you might want to use other words than that. But that's what I would do. I would have that difficult conversation now and lay out some of the ramifications of us not being on the same page should something happen where you do need to listen. Well, I tell my son all the time, he's a 12-year-old boy. They are known the world over for having listening issues. I tell my son all the time, son, you need to listen to me, because if I tell you to do something, I need it done now. If I tell you to not do something, I mean it right now. Oh, here comes the chicken that likes to try and lay eggs on the porch. It might get awful squawky on here, Patreon. We're going to see what happens. Okay, she's on the porch. She's going to jump up onto the folding table that has a ballistic helmet, a Berkey, a box full of Bibles, and a bunch of liquor bottles on it. Yep, she's looking. Here she goes. Come on. Come on. Nope, 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 okay. Decided against it, question mark. Nope, oh, nope, she's going. There she went. Okay. You're probably going to start hearing, but we'll see. I know, squirrel, chicken, whatever. I tell my son all the time, listen, if I say don't walk here, it could be because there's a landmine. And if you're not paying attention, you could step on that landmine and blow your freaking leg off, or worse, get killed, or injure somebody else. Pay attention. Now, I have to communicate with certain people differently because certain people receive information differently. With my son, I need him looking at me right here where he can see me. I have to speak slowly and clearly and then have him repeat it back to me to make sure that he gets it. Son, I want you to clean your room, do the dishes, and take out the trash. Okay, Dad. What do I need you to do? Clean your room, do the dishes, take out the trash. Repeat it back to me. Clean my room, do the dishes, take out the trash. Right? That's different than, for example, my daughter, my oldest. She's a checklist person. She's got a bit of that type A in her. And so I would make her a list. Shine, here's your list, so you can cross it off as you go. Clean your room, do the dishes, take out the trash. My wife, I can just say, hey, honey, here's what we need to accomplish today. We need these dishes done. We need to get our room clean. We need the trash out. She's got it. And so how you communicate information is just as important as who you're trying to communicate it to. So it may be a misunderstanding. They may not clearly understand your intent. They may also not respect your intent and your authority, and it may not be your authority, which is one of the things that you would have to work out with these people within your group. Just because you perceive that you have authority over them doesn't necessarily make it true. If they don't perceive that as well, newsflash, you don't have any authority over them. If they're not respecting your leadership, then you don't have any leadership to apply. But people who can't listen are dangerous, regardless of how valuable their skills are. I've talked repeatedly about the North Texas Mutual Assistance Group of recruiting people based upon skill set. We on paper had a lot of really awesome skills, but in actuality we didn't because nobody showed up, nobody participated. It devolved into let's drink beer in the backyard while we grill hamburgers and talk about the cool new tactical thing. That's not doing the things. That's not even approaching the doing of the things. It was a game to a lot of people. You know, on paper we had 30-something strong individuals. In reality, we had 6 or 8 strong individuals. So the onus is on you to be able to communicate, assuming that you actually are in a position of leadership over these people. If you've effectively communicated what you want to happen and it's not happening, then they don't respect your authority. And if they don't respect your authority, it's either because it's not your authority in the first place, which you need to rectify, or they're just being a-holes. And if they're being a-holes, you don't need those people, regardless of what their skill sets are, because you don't actually have that skill set in the first place. Those people aren't bought in. If they're not bought in, you don't have them. I can say that, I'll give you a good example. At one point, I was an ISA certified arborist, climbed trees every day of my life. I'm not anymore. I didn't keep up with my continuing education credits. I haven't strapped on climbing gear and gone up a tree in I don't know how many years. I'm in a different physical shape, round, as compared to what I was then. And I might know it here, but I'm not bought in. So I could say, yeah, I'm an arborist. That doesn't make it so. I'm certainly not attending any arborist conferences. I'm not in any arborist groups. I don't do any arborist things. I'm not part of a body of arborists underneath somebody else's authority. I'm just saying I'm an arborist. So there's a lot of people that say that they're in mags, say that they're in groups, and they're not. If you're not integral to the body, it doesn't matter. So if people can't listen, I think that's a very dangerous thing. And people that have demonstrated repeatedly that they can't listen or won't listen, you shouldn't have anything to do with, except maybe to approach them and have a conversation with them and find out why. You could use it as a learning opportunity to find out why. Maybe there's some work that you need to do. Maybe there's some work that I need to do to be a better communicator. to clearly convey the commander's intent. Or maybe I'm delusional and I'm not the commander. I just thought that I was. Either way, there's lessons to be learned there. But people who won't listen aren't your people. They are their own people. And while strong groups require strong individuals, the group takes priority over the individual, because the group is what allows us to maintain the protection, provision, and blessing of the individual. So that's my 10-minute answer in a nutshell. People who can't listen aren't on the team anyway. So everybody involved should quit pretending that they are and figure out why they're not listening. Maybe there's a chance to redeem those people, and maybe there's an opportunity for you to learn something. But people who don't listen aren't your folks. They're their own folks. Shalom, brother.